Hey, what is up guys? Mush back at it with another video, another edition of the top 10 best PC game deals available right now, and there are some very good game deals available. Some deals on Steam, some deals on Humble, some deals on other platforms, from new games to some older classics. A lot of great deals to go around, and actually a lot of the various e-tailers are running similar deals on all games. However, some deals on the same games are cheaper on one platform versus the other, and all of the keys redeem on Steam, so at the end of the day you get the games on Steam. So I've curated the cheapest possible deal you guys can get, and without further ado, let's get right into it. And I want to kick things off with Risk of Rain 2. This actually isn't really a deal. However, until March 30th at 12 p.m. Pacific time, it's buy one get one free on this game, and that is a tremendous value. So you can split the cost of the game with a friend and essentially get the game for $10. After that, you're paying $20 for the game, and Risk of Rain 2 is being received incredibly well. This was kind of a surprise release. The classic multiplayer roguelike Risk of Rain returns with an extra dimension because now it is in 3D and more challenging action. You can play solo or team up with up to 3 friends to fight your way through hordes of monsters, unlock new loot, and find a way to escape the planet. If you are playing this game, I would highly recommend to play with a couple of friends. That's why they're doing the buy one get one free. I mean, they're incentivizing you to play with your friends. They're giving you one free copy if you pick up the game now. Again, split the cost with a buddy, and you are doing yourself wonders. Of course, it is an early access game, so after March 30th, it's going to stay at $20, but I imagine when the full game is released, usually after the early access period, the price goes up once again. So now, if you jump in early, you're essentially getting the game for $10. By the end of it, this could be a $30 or $40 game. Based on the scope of this game and what I imagine they have planned going into the future for this game, it could very well be a $30, $35, $40 title. And right now on Steam, it's got an overwhelmingly positive reception, 98% positive. It was actually 99% positive yesterday. Kind of a bummer to see it drop to 98%, but I don't think I ever saw a game actually sustain 99% positive. I don't think there's a single game on Steam that's at 99% positive. Outside of Risk of Rain 2, another game that's really well received is like Slay the Spire, and I think that's 96%. We'll see how Risk of Rain 2 fluctuates its Steam reception. However, if you're kicking off a game in early access and right away it's received this well, you would think the game is just going to get better and better and the reception would just continue to improve. But we shall see what happens. Again, get a free copy right now until March 30th. That's tomorrow, 12 p.m. Pacific time, so you only have another day to take advantage of that offer. Next up, we just had the announcement of Borderlands 3, so why not get caught up with Borderlands the Handsome Collection. It's 94% off for $14.81 now. A lot of the value of this, it does come from the DLC, and you would never actually buy all the DLC separately, so yes, while it's listed at 94% off, you gotta take that number with a grain of salt. The base game of Borderlands 2 is 75% off for $5, so if you want to forego all of the DLC, you can just get that for $5, but the DLC is pretty substantial, and I would just recommend you to get that as well. Of course, this bundle also includes Borderlands the pre-sequel, so that's pretty nice, and Borderlands 1, for those of you guys that don't own the game, it will be getting a Game of the Year edition release on PC, as well as free upgrades for those of you that already own the game. It's gonna have some enhancements, so that's pretty cool. Get caught up to speed with Borderlands before Borderlands 3, and of course, you guys know how I feel about this series. I think Borderlands is incredible. I am just crossing my fingers that Borderlands 3 will not be an Epic Store exclusive, but based on some of the evidence I've dug up, I'm really starting to think more and more that the game is going to be an Epic Store exclusive. Let's not go down that rabbit hole again, but we should find out come April 3rd. Next up, also on Steam, they are running a Darksiders Franchise sale. All of the Darksiders games are discounted right now. Darksiders War Master Edition is 80% off for $3.99. Definitive Edition is 80% off for $5.99. And if you want to get Darksiders 3, that's 50% off for $29.99 as well. Usually a discount like that would make me think the game is flopping. However, Darksiders 3 has already broken even, and whatever copies of the game they sell at this point is just gravy to them. So even though Darksiders 3 didn't have the strongest reception, man, THQ Nordic is doing something right when they are releasing successful game after successful game. At the end of the day, it's not all about critical reception, it's about commercial reception and whether or not you made money. Darksiders 3 made money, so that is a success in my book. And the game itself is pretty good. I mean, it's got a 70 on Metacritic. It's not like it's a complete bomb. I just thought it was a weaker game than Darksiders 1 and 2. There's still some compelling content here. However, if you're getting into Darksiders, of course, you want to start off with Darksiders War Master Edition or Darksiders 2. Obviously, if you're just getting into Darksiders, get into it with Darksiders 1 and then pick up Darksiders 2. And if you enjoy those two games a lot, then pick up Darksiders 3. $30 for Darksiders 3, however, is pretty good, and I do believe that's the cheapest that game has been on PC, so not a bad buy there. Next up, this is a very relevant discount. While it's not a substantial discount, Dead Cells is 25% off down to $18.74. I actually believe this is the deepest discount Dead Cells has had. I feel like before it was just 20% off. This game has really held up in value, but rightfully so. Dead Cells is an incredible game, and why this is so relevant is they just put out the free DLC content in Rise of the Giant. Now, a free DLC pack for an indie title, you might think that it's not going to be a major piece of DLC. However, no, Rise of the Giant is a major piece of DLC. They could have easily charged $5 or $10 for it, but they released it as free content. And what's coming with all of this? A brand new level for those who have finished the game at least once. It's kind of a cavern, a deep dark hole filled with traps and other nasty surprises. A new boss, and how they explained it is really funny. They said, go on, guess. If you said it's the Giant, then you're wrong. It's Kratos. We teamed up with Sony Santa Monica to bring out, nah, it's the Giant, and guess what? He's hitting go on, guess. That was pretty funny. There's also a custom mode that is now available in the game without requiring you to beat the game, so that's pretty major. There are some new enemies that have been introduced, new skills, the Hunter Grenade Door, and some other content in there as well. Dead Cells, again, has had incredible reception. This was a game that initially, when I played it, I was like, okay, I really like the art style, but the gameplay isn't really winning me over. And then I played it for like another hour, an hour and a half, and you realize all of the diversity and elements the gameplay has. It is a terrific game, and I give it a strong, strong recommendation. If you are into your side-scrolling action titles, Metroidvania games, it is going to be right up your alley. 25% off, again, not a steep discount, but it's such a good game that it's easy to recommend anyway. Next up, we have Rising Storm 2 Vietnam. That is 67% off for $8.24. You can also enjoy the game free for the weekend. If you want a quality, more realistic multiplayer first-person shooter, Rising Storm 2 Vietnam is going to be right up your alley. You guys know how generally I feel about the Red Orchestra games and Rising Storm. These are some of the games that got me into PC gaming, so how could I not give them a recommendation? Even if you don't want to drop the money right away, at the very least, give it a download during the free weekend period, and I do think you're going to have a lot of fun with it. Get a couple of friends to download it. There's still a community here. There's about 2,500 people online, which, yes, that's not a huge community, but it is active, and you're not going to have a problem finding a game. Next up, we have the very recently released Devil May Cry 5. That is discounted 25% to $44.99. Not a steep discount on this, but DMC5 is a very recent release, and it was received incredibly well. Playing some of the game, I dug it as well. This is probably my favorite Devil May Cry title. I think I do like it more than the Ninja Theory Devil May Cry game, and I like it more than Devil May Cry 1. Obviously, it's a 2019 release, so inherently you just have that advantage. But if you want a slick, stylish action title, Devil May Cry 5 is definitely going to be up your alley, and $45 is a pretty good buy for it. It's a relatively lengthy game as well. We're talking 10 to 12 hours, which isn't all too bad for an action game like this. Sometimes you got like the 5 to 7 hour action titles, and those aren't great, but this one has a decent amount of content. And of course, Bloody Palace will be coming to it as well, so that's a nice bit of additional content. Lastly, I want to quickly run through the Bethesda Publisher Sale that Humble is running right now. Yes, Steam is running the Elder Scrolls 25th Anniversary Sale, but Humble is running a Bethesda Publisher Sale, and it's actually a lot better. I point to the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim Special Edition. That's 40% off on Steam. It's down to $24, but on the Humble store, it's 50% off, down to $20. If you're a monthly subscriber, you'll get it for $18, and then you also get Humble rewards back. If you're a monthly subscriber, you're essentially getting it as low as $17, which is much better than the $24 you're paying on Steam. Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim probably should be cheaper at this point, considering it's a 2011 release. However, it is an essential game to any PC library, given all of the longevity in the game, given how incredible the PC version is. Even if you're paying $17, even if you're paying $25, it's an essential game to your library. Next up, we have Dishonored 1. That is 70% off, down to $3. Now, they also have the Dishonored Special Edition for $10. However, that's substantially more expensive, and if you're just looking to get into Dishonored, getting the base game isn't all too bad. You don't get some of the DLC content. However, you're still going to have a lot of fun with what's offered in the main game. Dishonored 2 is also on sale. It's quite hefty in price. I believe it's like $13. So if you're just getting into Dishonored for the first time, yes, I would say Dishonored 2 is the better game, but the first title for $3, definitely a good buy. Next up, we have Fallout New Vegas Ultimate Edition. That is 50% off for $9.99. Much like the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim, Fallout New Vegas is one of those games that's essential to any PC library. Fallout New Vegas itself is a tremendous game. It seems like the majority of people agree that New Vegas is the better game to Fallout 3, which is kind of surprising because if you go back to, I believe, 2010 when New Vegas was released, the reception back then was actually New Vegas was just more of an extension to Fallout 3, and most people didn't like it as much. But however, over time, it seems like New Vegas is remembered upon as the better game. I'm pretty much in agreement with that, and unlike Fallout 3, New Vegas has a pretty smooth PC version at this point. Fallout 3 worked when it came out. At this point, some people do have issues, and there are some workarounds. It's pretty easy to get that working. Honestly, you should have Fallout 3, you should have New Vegas in your library. Both games are tremendous on PC. And lastly, we do have Doom, which is 25% off down to $15. This should probably be cheaper, but its base price at $19.99 is already so low that I understand why they're not discounting it even further. If you are a monthly subscriber, you'll end up getting it for $13.49 and you'll get some humble rewards back, so $12 and change, best case scenario. Doom is a tremendous game. I talked so highly about this game, and it's one of those games that is essential to PC as well. I don't want to keep saying that about these Bethesda games, but Doom is such a visually pleasing game. It plays so well. It's such a satisfying first-person shooter that I would recommend it to any PC library. And the thing about Doom is that it's really highlighted by its single-player experience. It looks like with the next title in Doom Eternal, they are trying to add a more robust multiplayer. Doom does have a multiplayer. However, it wasn't the star of the experience. The star was absolutely the single-player campaign, and the single-player campaign was rather lengthy. Comparatively speaking to other first-person shooters, you're talking about, you know, a 8 to 12 hour experience here, depending on how quickly you play through the game. Very satisfying, very good pacing, and of course, you've got that gruesome Doom gameplay that you know and love. For $15, it's worth a buy. And again, best case scenario, if you factor in everything, if you're a monthly subscriber, you'll end up getting it for $12 and change. And that's gonna conclude this video. Some great deals available right now. I think highlighted all of these is Risk of Rain 2. You really should cop that before March 30th because the price is gonna be at $20, and then out of early access, it's probably gonna go up again. And again, that deal is available until March 30th. Some other great deals: Borderlands The Handsome Collection, Darksiders is a really good buy, DMC 5, and all of those Bethesda titles, some really good deals available. Remember that all of the links will be in the description box down below. And that's gonna conclude this video. If you guys have a request for a future video, you can leave that in the comments as well, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.